Hi guys, welcome back and welcome to my first video on Build the Classic Routemaster by Hachette. So, sorry for the close-up, you'll see why in a minute. So this will be the third part work I've decided to do on my channel. Well, it's the third one I've done full stop, to be honest. So yeah, I've closely been watching Paint with Penny, Mike, and I've just recently discovered Hormy Train Spotting and Farming. Great channels, and I've been getting, the main reason for that was to sort of gather some tips and tricks along the way because I'm not up to date. This is only my first issue that I've received, so I'm a few months behind. I think in the shops at the moment we are up to issue 17. And 18 coming out next week, so I am a fair few issues behind, but never mind, I'm happy to be behind. If I can catch up in some way I will, but at the moment I'm just going with what I'm getting through the post. So before I go any further, let's just have a quick look over the supplement we get and see what this model's about. So this is it. This is Build the Classic Routemaster, and as you can see, it's a fantastic looking bus. So it comes with a lot of detailed parts. You know, anything. They've even got a chart in there. It's got the working headlights. There's moving parts and all sorts, but we'll see that as we go through this supplement. So by the end of this build, if you fancy a go and you think this is for you, it's not too late. You can just go to www.buildtheroutemaster.com and then you can start your own subscription from there. So this is sort of the overview. So we've got movable parts, which include the wing mirrors, the petrol cap, and even the bell. There's a little bell in the cab there. Absolutely fantastic. There's so much detail, more than I actually thought. You know, when I went into this. So it's got a working blind box, so you'll be able to change the destinations there. It's got a faithfully reproduced 9.6 litre 6-cylinder diesel engine, so that'll be fun to build. There's lots of intricate parts in there. Fully operating headlights, rear and interior lights. So that's what a question actually I was asking Paint with Penny on her video. I wondered if there was any interior lights, but this confirms, as she confirms, there was going to be some, so that is brilliant. If we turn over here, look, we've got the we can pull the lever on the back upper deck for the emergency exit. That's all going to work. Okay, and then obviously, as I said, we've got the detail as in an accurate timetable there, which will be viewable from the rear of the bus later on. And then underneath we get it reveals the gearbox, the prop shafts and the exhaust system. Very detailed. So yeah, that's going to be great. And then if I turn the page here, so it's going to be, the length is going to be 699 millimeters. This is the technical specifications. The width is going to be 203 millimeters. The height is going to be 365 millimeters. The wheelbase is 427 millimeters. Obviously, it's a 1/12 scale, and it's made from high quality materials, including die-cast metal and die-cast metal, photo etched, and ABS parts. And ABS is a type of plastic. You may know that from 3D printing, because you can print with ABS in the 3D printer as well. So yeah, and then you've got some more pictures of the sides here and the rear. And then you get a bit of a story on the Routemaster, the Classic Routemaster. which I won't go through, and then it just goes on to explain a little bit inside the magazines. So obviously you get your build instructions, and then you get some detailed articles and facts and things. Yeah, so that is that. So I'm going to take this time to say this is obviously my first delivery. I've had issues 1 and 2 delivered, and my first free gift, which I have received, is the Route 11 tin poster, and that is this here. I've left it in its cellophane. So yeah, that is your first free gift, so that would look nice on the wall perhaps. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but that was my free gift for my first delivery. Okay, and then going forward, with my third delivery, I'll end up with one of the Routemaster binders. You do have to pay separate for those, so if it was something you wanted to continue collecting, then I'm not sure. I can't give you a fact figure because I haven't actually seen it anywhere yet, but normally they're about $6.99 extra every sort of 3 or 4 months when they're needed. I'm going to opt out of this for this one because I am collecting the folders for my other 2 part works, and I'm running out of room, and yeah, so I'm not going to get those. So there will be some giveaways. So if any of you are watching and you are collecting these, then I will be doing a giveaway for some of these free gifts later on. So with the 5th delivery, we get this lovely travel mug. Vintage poster travel mug is the description, and that's only if you subscribe by direct debit. And then with with my 7th delivery, you'll get the London Transport badge, which is brilliant, and that's obviously going to be bigger than the one that's actually going to be on the bus. So looking forward to that. And then on the 9th delivery, we're actually going to get a Routemaster die-cast model, and I'll just bring that in a bit closer for you. There. So without further ado, I'm going to stop waffling and let's get down to the build and the parts. So this is how the magazine comes presented. Obviously I've taken the supplement out, so I have opened it already, but you get the magazine in there in the cellophane, and then we have a little box of parts. So I'm just going to take this out. So there is the parts we're going to be working with in this issue, and this is the issue 1. So the first thing I spot as soon as we open the magazine, we've got the parts list, which I shall go through in a second. It goes straight into the build instructions. So it's nicely laid out, easy to read, easy to follow, seems to be. So we'll see how we get on. Nice big exploded diagrams, and then after the build you get some facts and some reading. As my other builds, I'm not going to go through what's in the magazines because I find it may spoil it for those who may want to have a read and they're collecting this themselves. So I'm going to leave this reading for me personally, and all we're interested in for the purpose of this video is the build. I may just mention as well, I've already pre-prepared, and I've actually, like my other 2 builds, I have bought one of these little handy little boxes, and the purpose of this as you'll probably know by my other videos, is in case we get any extra screws, and I'm sure we will, and it's nice just to keep them all in here. I normally use the top 2 rows for plastic screws and the bottom 2 for metal screws. That is normally what I do, so I've got that ready to go. Right, so I am just going to carefully open this package, and then we shall go from there, and I shall go through all the parts that we get included. As normal, those of you that are doing the part works, you know you get quite a lot of parts in issue 1, and then as you go along you may only have like the odd part, the 1 part, you might have 2. That's just the nature of these builds. So we'll have quite a lot to do in this first issue, and I'm struggling to there we go. Separate this. So once you've taken the back off, carefully just remove the insert, and that should all come out lovely like that. Look at that red. Absolute red is actually used to be one of my favourite colours. It's actually changed to blue, but that red is absolutely amazing. Okie doke. So the first parts, well, these are the parts. We're going to do them in order. We get the grille frame, which is that part. Let me just see if I can adjust the focus a little bit better for you. There we go. So that is the grille frame. That is part 1A. 1B is the grille. That is metal. And there is the grille. Absolutely fantastic. 1C is this here, which is, as you can guess, the license plate. And I must say, these parts feel like they've got so much quality in them. There is a little bit of a paint defect on the back, but that is perfectly normal. You're not going to see that. That is obviously where they spray them or paint them. They must have to clamp them, or a machine has to hold them or something while while they're painted. So ignore any paint defects that are behind. That is perfectly normal for a part build. Okay, 1D is the actual bonnet or hood, depending on where you're from. But there we go. That is the actual bonnet. Look at that, deep red, nice and shiny. You've got some detail on the side here, which is that's the fuel, must be the fuel cap, yeah. And then obviously it says Routemaster just down the side there. And then you've got the London Transport badge on the front. Okay, so that was 1D. 1E is the bonnet brace. This is a plastic part. What else have we got? What else have we got? We got 1F, which is this part here, which is the access panel. Again, there is a defect, but again, that's just where a clamp or something at the factory has obviously held that in place to get that painted up. As long as the front is perfect, which mine is, we're good. Absolutely amazing with some gold print on there. Okay, we've got 1G, which is 2 hinges. I'll just get them out. And there we go. We've got 2 small hinges. That they are both part 1G. And then 1H is the hinge set. Hinge seat. Which are these parts here. Going to need those. Okay, 1I is these. I need to just get these out. There we go. 1I are these bushes. They're called bushes, and they're like black plastic pieces. And there should be 6 of those. Okay, and then we also get some AM screws. A and then M, which means metal. And then BM screws, again, they're indicating they are metal screws. And then obviously we get supplied a screwdriver. So let's start. Let's go to step 1. So I'm just going to move these bits out of the way until we require them. So step 1 is to take the front registration plate 1C and locate the pegs on the back into the holes at the bottom of the front of the radiator grille frame 1A. So there is the radiator frame. And then we're going to be taking this registration plate and we're going to pop that in there. There's 2 locating pins on the back which are going to go in there like so. And then we're going to be using 2 AM screws to secure them into place, or that into place, should I say. So yeah, AM screws, they're nicely labelled. And what I'm actually going to do is take the AM sticker off of there, and that will fit perfectly on my box. So as I say, I normally use the, I'm going to put the plastic screws in the top 2 rows and the metal underneath. So this is AM, so for metal, so I'm going to stick that there. Like that, brilliant. And then just pop the screws in there. Okay, so the screwdriver they provided is fantastic. It is magnetic. And then what we're going to do is just secure that license plate with those 2 screws. There's one. And number 2. And these screws are absolutely lovely to go in. I'm not going to do it too tight. There we go, and that is that part. Okay, so step 2, we're going to be taking the radiator grille, which is this part, and then we're going to pop that behind here, and it should locate. So you'll notice that there's a cutout on one side of the grille. That needs to be at the bottom where the registration plate is, and that is just going to pop on there. And then you've got some holes and some rings on this grille which are going to fit over the holes like so. Okay, and it says to obviously take care, because obviously the grille is not reversible, so that will only go in one way. And I'll just try for you, it just doesn't sit right. If you put it in the wrong way, you can just tell. You've also got a locating pin up there which will fit in the this locating hole on the grille. So there we have it. So yeah, that was part 2. Part 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we want 5 of these plastic bushes, and you'll notice that one side has got a much larger opening than the other side. So the larger opening is going to go over the pin, like so, and then we're going to fix that with AM screws, and we're going to do that 5 times. Now I'm just going to do one because there's no point me putting them all on. The diagram, well, it doesn't really say to put them all on at once, but if you put them all on once, you're going to lose bits. So I'm just going to start with one in this top corner. There we go, and that is the first one in place. We should have something that looks like that. And we're going to have one down here, one in the centre here, and then 2 on that side. So I'm going to put one over in this corner just to even it out. There we go. And then I'm going to do the one down this bottom corner. I'm just trying to fix your focus. Lovely. One in this top corner. and then one in the bottom centre there, just behind the registration plate. And then we have something that looks like that. That is looking brilliant. Okay, so step 4, that can go aside just for the moment. We're going to be doing the assembling the hinge mechanism that allows the access panel to be open and closed. So we're going to align a socket in one hinge. Now I'm just going to compare these. I'm sure they are the same, but I want to just check that they are actually the same, and they are. And it's the same for the hinge seats as well. So we just need to take one of each. And what we need to do is the hinge seat facing upwards. I don't even see that there's like a locating pin on there. That needs to face upwards. And then this has got like a hole in the top with like a quite prominent curve there. That is going to face upwards as well. And with this pin facing the front, that hinge is going to pop in there, and we should have something that looks like that, if you get my mean. It's difficult to sort of explain. But what I'll do is I'll screw this together and then I'll give you a good view so you can see for yourselves how this is going to look. So we are going to need a BM screw. So again, I'm going to bring these screws over. I'm going to put the BM next to the AM, because they normally work in alphabetical order. So okay, so these are so the AM screws we used earlier are 3mm, and then the BM screws, these ones, I thought it was really long. I wanted to find out the measurements, but these are 7mm, these ones. Okay, so once we've got this lined up, it wants this screw to go through on the opposite side of the locating pin. So you've got the locating pin on this side, the screw is going to be driven through this hole here from the opposite side. And then just make sure that's lined up. And straight, and then that will screw straight through. like so, and then that will start to show in the other side. And then we have something that looks like that. So that's what I was trying to explain. So you've got the locating pin at the rear, and then you've got this bend that comes down. So that is sort of how that looks. I hope that makes sense. It's very difficult to try and explain that. But if I show you the magazine, that might help you a little bit more. So you see what I mean? So the bend needs to be in the direction of the locating pin on the actual bracket hinge, or seat, sorry, the bracket seat. And then we should have something that looks like that, which I do. And then obviously the screw, it wants in this side here. So that's one. Now we need to do the other one. Again, that is going to be the same thing. Okay. Then I'm just going to get one of the BM screws. And start that through. Lovely. And then that is that one done as well. So then we should have two of those. And they are identical. This one's a little bit stiffer because of the paint, but the more that, oh yeah, it's loose already now. Give it a little bit of manipulation, then that'll be fine. So then we move to step 6. We need to take the access cover 1F, and then we're going to pop the hinges in like so. So on the back of the access cover, you've got 2 holes. The larger of the hole at the bottom is where this locating pin is going to sit on the bottom of this hinge. Okay, and then we're going to have a screw that will go through there. And that screw is being an AM, which I thought, because obviously they're going to be too long. So I've taken 2 of those out. So if you do try and put these hinges on, say, the wrong way, it's not going to work because the locating pin will not fit. So they will only affix one way. And then we're just going to carefully drive the screw. And then we show something that looks like that. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. Lovely, there we have it. So that was step 6, and then step 7, we want to attach this now to the underside of the bonnet. And we're going to be looking at this cutout here, and then we've got some fixing holes just there. So again, I'm going to try and fit this the wrong way, and it's not going to fit. So yeah, this will only fit one way. It's obvious it's going to fit in. You've got a locating pin that's going to fit on the outer hole there, and there's like a recess in the bottom of these hinges which will fit nicely over the lip over the 2 holes just there, if you can see that. So we're just going to pop them in. That'll just sit in there nicely like so. And then we're going to fix that in again with AM screws. So we're going to need 2 of those. And then make sure that is fairly tight. Don't go mad. There we go, and that completes step 7. So there we have that attached, the access panel, and then that will now lift up because of those hinges. So moving on to step 8. All we're going to be doing is working from the inside of the bonnet. We're going to take the bonnet brace, 1E this is, check that it fits neatly into the bonnet. This is 1D, and then we're going to use 5 AM screws to secure this into place. So it's pretty standard. We're going to go by the shape. Obviously this side is narrower than that side, so that is going to fit inside. Follow the shape. It fits nicely around the hinges that we've just installed, so I'm happy that they are definitely in the right place. and then we're going to put the 5 screws through. Which are this top corner here, this hole here, we've got one in the middle, and then we've just got the 2 there. So I'm going to start myself by putting one in the middle, just to keep that all in place. And again, we're using the AM screws for this. One up here in the top corner. Now obviously be careful, because there are another 3 holes I can see just at the top there, but they aren't going to be we're not going to be doing anything with that in this issue. So it's just the outer ones. Okay, just 2 more screws to go. And I'm satisfied that is secured lovely. So yes, that is the end of part 8 and the end of the magazine for this week. So just to recap, so we've done the radiator grille, we've put the license plate on, we've put the mesh on, and then we've worked on the bonnet. We've done the access panel and the hinges, and then we've obviously put the bonnet brace in. So there we have it. Just so you know, I've been left with 4 AM screws and 1 BM screw. That's what I've been left with, and also one of these black plastic things. Okay, so what do you think of that then, guys? That was issue 1 of Build the Classic Routemaster. I really enjoyed that. The parts are very, very good quality. The screws went in lovely. You know, the magazine is very detailed, exploding parts and amazing. So yeah, I am looking forward to issue 2 to get that underway. So for now though, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. That'll be a big help. Thank you, and I'll see you for the next issue. Take care. Bye bye.